old gods will call to you. From their ancient prisons they will sing. Dragons with wicked eyes and wicked hearts, on blackened wings does their deceit take flight. The first of my children lost tonight. All right. Wicked eyes and wicked hearts. An assassin is stalking the Empress.
Really? You did not notice? I had no idea Lady Beverly was one of your people. You might have told me before I embarrassed myself.
Let's try one more time. An assassin is stalking the Empress. Celine's death would plunge Orlesian into chaos, leaving it an easy target for Corypheus. At the Winter Palace of Halam-Shiral, Celine is holding peace talks with her rebellious cousin Grand Duke Gaspard under the guise of a grand ball. Every noble in the Empire will attend, making it the perfect place and time for Corypheus' assassin to strike. We can arrange an invitation to attend, to keep him from destroying Orlesian, if we hurry. And because of the work I did off camera, I'm actually in the recommended level range, so I don't think I need to worry about getting overwhelmed by any of the enemies here. So let's start.
We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Orlesian falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celine's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celine outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halam-Shiral into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Wait, the elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress.
It's not widely known. Just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celine's court. Even if a lie, Briala could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celine is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celine is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
And so this gives us an introduction to the three major players that we're going to be seeing in this mission.
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
You've given me plenty to think about.
With Gaspard and Celine's armies entrenched, we cannot openly march troops to the palace.
My agents will ensure your soldiers get inside. But it must be a few at a time to avoid attention.
Understood. Just give the word. We'll begin.
So off we go. And for this mission, I'd like to take Sarah. She could maybe get us into contact with some of the servants at the palace. On the other side of the spectrum, we'll take Vivian, since she can easily mingle with the nobility. And since this is a serious mission, we're going to need a tank. And of our warriors, I think it actually might be nice to take the Iron Bull along. He will seem, maybe exotic to the Orlesian nobility. Might get us a few brownie points to have a bodyguard be a Qunari.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
Inquisitor Trevelyan, it is an honor to meet you at last. Bringing the rebel mages into the ranks of your army was a brilliant move. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
Well, if we're going to play the game here, probably important to be as diplomatic as possible. Which means, at this point at least, being very complimentive to both parties here. Both the Grand Duke and the Empress.
I can see many benefits to such an alliance.
Keep the image firmly in mind. We may see it materialize by the end of the evening. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. My lady, are you prepared to shock the court by walking into the Grand Ball with a hateful usurper? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Duke Gaspard. I look forward to ending this civil war.
As do I, my friend. The Empire needs stability and security, now more than ever. If you have the safety of the Orlesian people at heart, Inquisitor, perhaps you will look into something for me. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
That sounds like something I should look into.
Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
The mage? No, there must be some mistake.
From the Circle of Ostwick, so they say.
And so here we have a mechanic that will only come into play for this story mission. This is court approval. And it's going to keep a running tally here as we go along. It's a percentage from 0 to 100. You actually start out with 40% approval. But if you are a mage, a dwarf, or an elf, you automatically lose 10% right off the bat due to stereotype and bias from the Orlesian nobility. Now for the ending that I would prefer, there are about, I think, 4 different endings that you can possibly have. But for the one that I want, I need to have at least 85% court approval, and the ending that I want requires the most court approval out of all the endings. So that's going to be my my number one goal, I think.
Pardon me, my lady. Have you seen a ring anywhere? It was a gift from the Countess Montbelliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
Is this ring particularly valuable?
Its worth in coin is not as important as its social value. It was a gift from a member of the Council of Heralds. If she finds out I lost it, she will never forgive me. Not even if I live to be 1,000 years old.
What's your game? Are you trying to convince the Countess that you treasure her gift? Or just to gain importance by getting the Inquisitor to run a menial errand for you?
And so we got some approval from that. So the more that the Inquisitor presents him or herself as a player of the game, the higher the court approval goes up.
I assure you, the ring truly is lost, and I must find it or risk terrible repercussions. Should you happen upon it, I beg you, let me know.
And I happen to know that it's just over here. I actually remember that from the last time I played this mission.
Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you are looking for?
You are a treasure. I cannot believe you found it. You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I thank you enough?
And so we're back to actually our starting approval just by doing those 2 little quick tasks. Alright, now, once you enter the palace, you will never be able to come out to this area again.
Where has that servant gone?
So I would like to
Always shirking their duties.
get into a few areas over here.
Do you mind? We don't wish to be disturbed.
And that activates the second unique mechanic for this stage. There's a storage key that I'm going to need, if I remember correctly. And that is eavesdropping. As you walk around, you'll see areas light up with a red circle here. And that allows you to listen in on conversations that are happening nearby. In this case, it's between these two.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
And one of the missions that you can do is collect enough rumors and hearsay that might be useful to Liliana's spy network. Okay, I think we use the key over here. Yep. Just grab some loot. Secret love letter. Yeah, here we go. This is Liliana's quest in this area. It's called the Great Blackmail Hunt. It's really just a fetch quest. So I'm not particularly interested in making sure I get every single one. However, on the other side here is what I do want to get all of, if I possibly can. And these are what are known as the Hala statues. Let's see if I can find... I know it's somewhere up on this deck. Here we go. There it is. Because the hollow statues will open up certain rooms that cannot be opened any other way. You can't have a rogue pick the locks or anything like that.
Where has that servant
And
gone?
one of the rooms that requires these hollow statues to put in is actually required if you want to get the ending that I want to get. Now for this room, though, I think it's just some random loot. Okay, now we should be good to actually go and head in. So let's do that now.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
Don't they sound delightful? I'm shocked we haven't invited the court to dinner at Skyhold.
The game is like wicked grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer staring down Corypheus.
Is all this worry just for my sake?
You're going in there unarmed. If anything happens to you... Andraste, watch over us all.
Alright, welcome to the Winter Palace. There are, you may notice there are areas here that are cordoned off. Other doors have guards in front of them. And that's going to be the third and final unique mechanic to this particular mission. But I'll get into more detail when it actually becomes pertinent.
Gaspar never struck me as pious. He must think he gains military advantage with the Inquisition.
Another thing that's particularly challenging from a Let's Play point of view for this mission is that because this is a grand ball, there are people everywhere, and so you get tons and tons of ambient dialogue. So as I wander around, if people end up talking over each other, so that you can't necessarily understand what they're saying, I apologize. It's just kind of par for the course on this particular mission. Here's Cullen. Looking a bit stiff.
It will take some time to get our men into the palace. I'll alert you when we're ready.
I have a feeling from all our companions, he's probably the least comfortable here.
How can they call this a vestibule? It's a foyer.
Please, it's barely half the size of the foyer in the Imperial.
Here's a place where you can eavesdrop.
Well, that's useful.
And that's what most of the eavesdropping is. They don't actually say anything that you as the player can understand. And sometimes it's not even useful enough to count in the mission.
Waste of time.
And so Aurora will give an indication as to whether or not what she heard was useful. It's only when she does find something useful that the counter will go up.
more news coming from the Crown Cathedral.
Who does Orzammar favor in the negotiations tonight?
King Aeducan has put considerable coin behind the Empress in hopes the trade in foodstuffs will resume quickly.
Ah. Sounds like King Balin prefers the Empress. Oh, locked. See if the other side is locked as well.
Trade dropped off so sharp?
With so much fighting, demand should be higher than ever.
Yep, locked from the other side. Locked from the other side. I have to find another way in.
I heard the Grand Duke invited the Inquisition here.
You notice that there's a lot of lion symbology around here. That's very much associated with the nation of Orlesian, similar to how the Minbari hound is kind of the unofficial symbol of Ferelden. There's the Grand Duke.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lady Inquisitor Trevelyan of the Ostwick Circle of Magi. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground.
He is so full of it. That's not how it went.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Madame Vivienne, First Enchanter of the Circle of Magi, Enchanter of the Imperial Court, Mistress of the Duke of Ghislaine, the Iron Bull, leader of the famed mercenary company Bull's Chargers, as the name might imply. Her Ladyship, my bulls each, of course.
Nice one,
Sir
Sarah.
Cullen Stanton Rutherford of Hunley, Commander of the Forces of the Inquisition, former Knight Commander of Kirkwall. Lady Liliana, Nightingale of the Imperial Court, veteran of the Fifth Blight, Seneschal of the Inquisition, and Left Hand of the Divine. And Lady Josephine Charette Montillier of Antiva City, Ambassador of the Inquisition.
We have to head over and actually make our formal appearance before the Empress now. But I figured I'd walk along with Josephine here.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lady Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I am delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time to take in some of its beauties. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Yvette, how are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health? Do they want
Get
for
these
anything?
pastries out
Papa's
to the
perfectly
diplomats.
happy in the studio.
The Duchess has asked
Mother
for too many.
is the
I
same
can't carry
as
them
always.
all.
Meaning she's after you to do more work.
You always take her side.
I don't take her side. I happen to think, as she does, you might attend to more of the estate's duties. Also, do stop slouching.
Sounds like Josephine speaking with family. Let's see who it is.
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this her?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? You and Josephine are going to elope and move to the Anderfels and join the Grey Wardens and fight Darkspawn? Yvette, I want to know.
How in the world did that become a rumor?
I already packed our bags, didn't I, darling?
I knew it.
Inquisitor, please give her no more ammunition. I beg you.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh yes, as she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette, stop.
Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette, that's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
Okay, so Josephine also seems to prefer the Empress.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
She would forget to mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors. You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's bills.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of...
The dancing is so dull, your worship. But the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Half Arroyo must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
So we're going to make our way around the ballroom here and talk with both our companions as well as the advisors.
Where has that servant gone? Elves.
Oh, talk.
I heard Celine was having the entire wing redecorated, but the timing is atrocious.
All right, what's up, Sarah?
Why did she do such a thing now?
Crotch up, beats his squire. He's a she. As a bastard. Extra toes. What a fun, close marrying crowd.
Sarah seems to have a lot of information on the people she's observing here.
Making any new friends?
Not likely. I'm watching them watch you. They're all glances and titters. Not sure if they're allowed to like you yet. Pathetic.
I'm actually surprised how much Sarah seems to be behaving herself, which makes me think that she's probably already set up whatever mischief she has planned and is just waiting for it to play out. But that's just my guess.
Any thoughts on who we're investigating?
The Empress is pretty. It'd be fun to drink and kill stuff with Gaspard. Briala is friggin' funny. Elves. But it's really a pissing match with an old lover. Don't know the rest, but that explains a lot. They're all lying, but Celine's nice to look at. Good thing we're here to save her neck.
Well, I'm not sure if you'd say it's much of a preference, but I guess if anyone, Sarah is voting to keep Celine in power because she's the most pretty looking.
Any hidden treasures from friends of your little network?
You mean, do any of the servants ferrying tarts between these windy tits hate them enough to give up a stash or two? I'm not saying yes, but... Wait, yes I am. There's some good stuff hidden around. Keep an eye out.
Back soon.
Not going anywhere.
And this little mini quest here, find the red Jenny stashes, is something that you only can access if you take Sarah along as a companion for this quest. I'll let you guys read this if you'd like. There, 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 and there. Again, it's not super important to me that we find all the stashes. They're just to give you extra items. So is there something... Oh, that's just for the mission. Okay, never mind. I thought maybe there was some loot hidden somewhere. There's Vivienne.
And here we are. You haven't embarrassed yourself as much as I feared. Well done, my dear.
She is definitely in her element right now.
Any words of wisdom for navigating the ballroom?
Speak to the Council of Heralds. 6 of them are here tonight. The 7th member of the Council is indisposed. His absence will complicate the negotiations. The Council are the highest-ranking players of the game. They see everything. They might know something we can use.
I've always wondered, what's the Orlesian fascination with masks?
We all wear masks, my dear, not just the people in Orlais. Who you are as a daughter, a lover, a friend, are very different people from the Inquisitor and Herald of Andraste. Orlesians codify this truth, make it visible. By giving each of these selves its own separate face, they believe they can be their truest selves, unmasked.
It's an interesting philosophy.
Anything happening I should know?
Keep an eye out for Celine's pet apostate. I've no doubt she's involved in this.
It seems like you enjoy this, Vivienne.
This is the game, Inquisitor. Of course I enjoy it. If I didn't, I'd be dead by now.
Probably literally.
Tell me, Vivienne, where do you want the crown to fall?
What I want is irrelevant, darling. Orlais requires stability, and that is best served by Empress Celine.
That's 3 votes for the Empress.
Be ready to act when I give the signal.
Always, my dear.
Laurent was the love of my life. You remember my husband? Poor darling. Killed in the war with Ferelden.
And now, if you see someone who happens to be on the Council of Heralds, it actually gives you the little notification there.
Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
Oh, nothing to be gained there.
You must dance with me, Commander.
How could the Emperor
You cannot stand about all
to
evening.
invade the palace?
I'm afraid
without
not.
war going on?
Thank you.
I heard that it wasn't renovations at all. The palace was
Looks
damaged
like
by
Cullen
death
is attracting the
He fired
flirtatious
into the
attentions
palace.
of some women and a man. I'm sure he's thrilled with all this attention.
Inquisitor, did you need something? The sooner we track down this infiltrator, the better.
Do you have any advice?
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are a few here we can trust. Be careful.
You've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know, but they won't leave me alone.
I take it you're not enjoying yourself.
At this point, the headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
Gaspard's claim to the throne is fair. Orlais needs someone capable of responding to the crisis at hand. A military-minded leader seems the best option.
Ah, finally, we have someone in our inner circle who actually supports the Grand Duke.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
I'll let you know at once if I do.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
And of course, if you bring other companions, some of them will also be inclined to support
I had
the
hoped to tour
Grand
the
Duke
Royal
over the
Wing
Empress.
Is that her?
I have heard the only one to survive the Temple of Sacred Ashes. Yes.
No one's out here on this balcony. Does behoove you to take a look every now and then. out here right now. That's the Empress over there.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
As she should.
Skyhold for the summer. You'd be
She is
bored the
perilous.
second you stepped past the gates. Skyhold
Have
is
you
a
heard
fortified
from your
castle.
Okay, I think I missed Liliana the first time around, didn't I? Yeah, she's over there at the door.
Not since his regiment joined the fighting.
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
You think she's controlling the minds of the court? That's powerful blood magic.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
So now we have another possible suspect, being this apostate that the Empress has taken on unofficially. Alright. So we have a couple of things to do here. Explore the Grand Library for information on the Empress's occult advisor, and investigate Briala's agents. So we'll need to do both of those. Let's have a look at our map here. Also, we have some actual quest markers that help us find where the red Jenny stashes are. The Iron Bull seems to be out in this direction. He's actually the one person we haven't talked to yet. Let's see. Yeah, all of these areas are things that we're going to need to sneak into, if I remember correctly. Alright, so let's go ahead and head off this way first. Nothing else we can see what the Iron Bull's up to. Hall of Heroes. Trophy room. Locked. Whispering elves. They're whispering. Let's see if we can find some place to over here maybe. I'm wondering if this is one of the eavesdropping. That was the word that I was missing there. Eavesdropping areas. I don't want to necessarily approach them yet. Here we go. Yeah, listen closely. Question the elven servants.
We are not serving drinks. Bother someone else.
Oh, okay. We needed to get them to move first. There is a difference if you happen to be an Inquisitor who's an elf, then you can actually talk to them directly.
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
Alright, so we have another lead that we can pursue.
attacks in the royal wing.
No one's reported him.
Oh, eavesdropping place.
Boring.
Ah, well.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the country.
My lady! My lady Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
How can I be certain this message is from the Empress?
We three wear the masks of House Valmont.
They signify that we are public faces of the Empress.
They are also extremely fashionable.
I believe both of those justifications.
Funny that she couldn't give me this message when we spoke.
Oh, she could not speak freely in front of the entire court, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in her holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
That's a generous offer.
The Empress believes wholeheartedly that the Inquisition is our best hope for peace in these difficult times.
She looks forward to cementing a formal alliance.
As soon as Gaspard is out of the way.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
And of course the question is, how much can we trust both those messengers and Celine herself if it's genuine?
Did you need something?
Maybe a place to eavesdrop back here? Hey, there it is.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
Some loot back here. Let's see now. Is Iron Bowl out here?
Elves, always shirking their duties.
I don't see him on this level. He must be either above or below me. Let you guys read this if you'd like. And that's the final kind of optional fetch quest, if you want to, is to collect coins and toss them into the fountain here. Sounds like there's another eavesdropping place back here. Yes.
Boring.
Nope, no dice. You'll notice that the bard is singing in French, again because of the inspiration for the Orlesian culture.
Gaspard is wasting.
Perhaps I should say the primary inspiration, not the entire inspiration.
I don't like that Grand Duke. Nobody should own as many hunting dogs as he does.
Burn them.
Okay, we have more whispering elves. Any other eavesdrop locations, or do you need to make them move again?
You don't want to be here, stranger.
Yep. Gotta make them move. And now we eavesdrop here.
He hasn't made the pickup. It's been hours.
You went into the servants' wing. Nobody's come out of there all night.
I'll tell Briala we have a situation.
Okay, I think, check my journal here. We have the Grand Library, which is one place, And I think... Yeah, let's get the cylinder seal. That's another thing we need. Basically, there are 3 main bits of blackmail material, I guess you'd call them, that we're going to need for the ending that I want. And I think we're on the road for at least 2 of them right now. Here's the Iron Bull. Kind of standing somewhat out of the way, probably because of his intimidating presence.
You got anything that needs killing? Because the nobles keep messing with me and they think I don't know they're doing it. This keeps up, I'm gonna wear somebody's skull as my fancy little mask.
Look at this with the eyes of a Ben Hasrath and tell me what you see.
It's a mess. Everyone's trying so hard to hide that they're walking around in plumage. Makes it tough to spot the dangerous lies, as opposed to the normal stuff. Oh, but that couple over there with the silver masks? The woman's doing one of the nobles, and the guy's doing 2 different servants.
What do you think of the masks the nobles are wearing?
They're no good as disguises, and they don't cover the mouth or hide body language, so they're not much help for lying. As fashion goes, I don't know. I've seen dumber.
Anything catching your eye?
They've got these candied nuts with some kind of spice on them. It's sweet until you swallow, and then... bam! Hot! Also, Orlais has some fine-looking redheads. I go more for the servants personally. Less makeup. Nothing on the assassins, though.
Talk to you later, Bull.
I'll just stay here and eat.
Description of those candied nuts sounds almost a little bit like Orlais in general. See, we already eavesdropped on them.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
Oh, do I need to search out something? Usually that's a signal that you have to...
said to Duke Germain, his own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that
yes, here we
attaché roaming about?
Ah, there's that cylinder seal we were looking for.
Well, well. What's this?
Hiram Cheval investigation clues. Clara, kitchen staff, entered servants' wing by main stair 130. Vernon, undergardener, entered servants' wing from the hall 245. Sophie, chambermaid, entered servants' wing from hall 322. Marius, footman, entered servants' wing by the main stair 345. Briala, we need some immediate support down there. Something's gone wrong. Ah, here's one of the vassals of the Council of Heralds.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
Awfully selfish of this Philippe, running off to play and leaving you with all the work.
I've half a mind to inform the Dowager. That would teach him to shirk his duties to roll some elven maid. Tonight of all nights, leaving me to convey Gaspard's death threats to the Council. Wonderful timing, Philippe. Thank you for listening to me rant. You are too kind, Inquisitor.
That's one of those random conversations that you can have to actually gain some additional approval. So I wanted to make sure I touched base with him before I left there. I think if you actually talk to these Imperial guards, you get negative court approval, so I'm going to avoid that.